And I am here with Mike Connor. And thank goodness, because this morning, if you haven't heard, he wasn't texting me back. And I was like, I called like 5 people. I'm like, listen, Mike always texts me back, and he is not. A 911 emergency, is he okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he got back to his phone. He's like, I'm going to kill Christy.
Yeah.
She has the whole town in an uproar.
It's my fault. I just got carried away, busy this morning, and time just got by me.
Well, sometimes that happens.
Or like I said earlier, I was just getting hard to get.
Plain hard to get, he said.
Hard to find or
he
something.
made me work for him.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Mr. Mike Connor, you are the president and CEO of River Fund.
Right.
I'm so excited to have you here. What a great fund, and I'm so thankful to be a part of you and to get to experience some of these community events with you.
Well, listen, I'm really proud of the fact that you guys have brought us into your family of support things that you do in the community, and you guys are doing amazing stuff everywhere, all over.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm glad that we're a part of it.
Me too. We were just able to do, so the month of October, we did every car purchased from the community, $100 went back to a local cancer charity, which was you.
Yes, it was.
So we were very thankful to be able to do that with you guys. Jeff, you want to show the check?
Sure, we could do that. Why not? Let me get to it here. We got it. I know we have it.
We have it.
Of course we have it. It's boom right there.
Yes. So that was so nice. You got some of your team together, some of the board.
Senate Board of Directors, yes.
Yes. Do you want to talk a little bit about your board?
Well, just so they're not listening,
Yeah.
We have to cut them out, so I don't want to brag about them too much.
10-4.
Listen, they're an
10-4.
amazing group. Our bylaws have us set up for 13 board members.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
We have
That's
a chairman
board.
of the board, and we have an executive committee that's made up of. The entire board is made up of business people throughout the tri-state area. We have
Very nice.
we don't have Needles, but we do have Arizona and Nevada people on the board. We got started in June of 2010 when we got our 501c3 designation, and we picked on people on both sides of the river. Basically,
Who can we get?
Sure, yeah, business people.
Yeah.
The decision makers and those that could help us bring funds into the program from their sources, whether they were a casino operator or a big business like yourselves or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we started out with using setting up a donation through payroll deductions.
Gotcha.
And that got us started and got the awareness going with
Wow.
employees. And then we established an employee donor crisis fund. And so it got, it
Grew and grew
really,
and
really,
grew.
yeah, absolutely. But this particular fund that you donated this to it's our Cancer Connection Fund. And what it's a little bit different than a lot of things. We're not a support group where we sit around a table and talk, those kinds of things. That's not what we do. What we do is we help with the service needs or the financial needs of a cancer patient.
Yeah.
And you're looking at 8 to 10 treatments through a series of treatments that let's take. Any one of the cancers, it's all different. When I had lung cancer, I had 4 treatments. Some breast cancer patients have 8 treatments, and they're spread out 2 or 3 weeks apart throughout this series. And each one of those could be up to $700 to $900, and that's after insurance.
That could make or break your treatment.
Easy. So a lot of times we'll get engaged with a patient that needs help, paying their bills in order to get to treatment to survive their problem.
Just to take a little piece off their plate.
That's one thing. Or batteries for a wheelchair, things like that, or transportation to Phoenix or Vegas or wherever they need to go for specialized care.
Most of those specialists aren't local.
Well, especially with pediatric cancer too, because you don't have that many facilities here in this region. You have to go out of
Right.
town, so sometimes they don't have the transportation capabilities. There's just all sorts of things and of course the everyday things, the rent, the house payments, things like
Yeah.
that, or
An
electric
illness
bills.
takes a toll on everything.
Because what are you going to do? Take care of your medical problems or pay the rent. Sometimes
Right.
it gets in the
Are
way.
you going to save your life or are
Yeah,
you going to
so-
pay the rent?
Exactly. So they're a local resident, and they can show us that they're going through a problem.
Yeah.
We just need documentation
Right.
to help do that. And so a long, long time ago, Connie Davis, who
Yes.
was she was the executive director, and she was a long-time believer in helping people with cancer because she was a cancer survivor herself.
Survivor.
Cancer walk.
Yes, it's a 5K. It usually
Yep.
happens in March, correct?
March, yeah, the first Saturday in March, I believe it is. Yes.
And so that is
And
really
so,
in honor
but-
of her.
And then we whittle it down, and then the community tries to shore it up faster than we can spend it, which is
Yeah.
a good problem.
That is a good problem.
And you guys just came out one of these really things that we really need help with all the time
Yeah.
is amazing. So,
Well, that is
We thank you
we're
for that.
thankful for you.
but anyway, the board consists of business people, on both sides of the river, HR directors at casinos and banking people and you name it. A couple retired people on it that they're very. Nancy Monjo is on
Oh,
our.
she's amazing.
Yeah, and she's she retired from Legacy Foundation, but she didn't.
Got herself
she
right
didn't-
back
yeah,
involved.
I keep telling.
Retirement, I'm busier than I was when I was working.
Yeah, well, I retired 3 times, so here I
And
am.
look at you.
Yeah, but anyway, I love every minute of it. But
Yeah.
yeah. But there's a lot of things we're doing that, like I said, we started, 13 years ago, I think it is now.
Yeah.
And we started with 6 volunteers, and we started with $2,000 in cash. And here a few months ago, we passed $3.7 million in help,
Oh my gosh.
and it all stays here.
And it stays here
Yeah.
locally.
And we have a lot of different funds. And when I say here, let me explain. Our territory, our service area, we call it, starts in Topak,
Okay.
okay, and it comes north. And we're touching into Needles now a lot more than we used to. We're helping. In fact, we're working with the city manager on some programs that may bring River Fund to Needles
Also.
more. Yeah. Mhm. And then on up, and we help in the whole valley here,
Yeah.
including Oatman, if the people in
Need
Oatman,
help.
because that's one of those little communities that nobody wants to take
Right.
responsibility for.
Yeah, you
Kinda
kind of
like
you just
Topak
want to
and
go
Bone Shores.
visit,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
But yeah,
But people live there,
Yeah.
and they have needs, and so then and coming up into Mojave Valley and Fort Mojave, and then on into Bullhead City, and then we take care of Laughlin.
yeah.
That's actually where our corporate headquarters is in Laughlin in
in
the Civic
Laughlin.
Center, and then out to Golden Valley.
Oh wow, that's a
And
big
we
territory.
go up as far as that T intersection. If you turn right, you're going into Kingman,
in the Kingman. Gotcha.
and left to Vegas. That's about where we cut it off. That's enough.
Well, that's
We're
a
not that
huge
big.
territory.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. When we started out, we thought we were just going to do things like rent, electric bills, a few things like that. See?
Yeah.
Well,
It didn't go. It didn't stop there, did it?
No, and I've got an extensive law enforcement background, and I know a lot of the officers here and the management personnel at the city and so forth. And we started getting involved with the domestic violence victims that were being battered in the middle of the night, and they've got children, and they're screaming, and it's a bad situation. Law enforcement arrives. Somebody ends up going to jail. She's got nowhere to go because she's not on the lease agreement
Can't
or
go
something,
home.
on a rent agreement, and she can't stay there. So law enforcement calls me. It doesn't matter, 24/7. And then we put these women or men. Sometimes there's men can be victim of domestic violence as well, and they got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And so we put them in temporary housing. and in some cases these arguments get pretty serious.
Yeah.
It's where somebody gets hurt or is running out the back door with somebody chasing them with a baseball bat. And things like birth certificates and marriage documents and things get torn up and trashed and what have you. Well, what we do the next day is call them in the hotel or the shelter where we're at, and we get them to come into the office, and then we start talking about now what.
What do we do next?
What do we
How
do now?
help you?
Where are you going to sleep tonight? You know.
Yeah.
And sometimes they've had time overnight to think about it, and they want to go back and make up.
Right.
And that's fine too, but so many times I've found that doesn't solve it, and it
Right.
happens again, and next time is worse. So what we've been known to do is find them relatives, friends, an old boss in another part of the country or something that she could call or he
Yeah.
could call. And
A
see
support
if we,
group, support.
And see if we can't hook them up with them and get them, and we'll transport them back to these other places.
safe places.
We've sent people to New York and Delaware and Florida and Arkansas, Kansas, all over the place,
Wow.
Washington, all over the country. As long as it's in the continental United States, we can use the Greyhound and get them there.
Get them there. Get them to safety.
Yeah.
Give them a choice. Give them an option.
Right,
An option.
right. And so sometimes they have a career here
Mm-hmm.
and they want to stay. Okay, let's fix that. So we work on getting them permanent housing. And I have agreements and support with Mojave Electric Cooperative on deposit funds for utilities, and then we have other funds that we use as unrestricted funds, we call them, to help them get their first and last month's rent.
That's
And
amazing.
help get them established. And sometimes we work with other nonprofits. There's others. There's West Care, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
Catholic charities. There's some
So
wonderful.
you guys work together
Oh
to
my
make all
gosh,
this possible.
they're so awesome. The things that they're doing. Alcohol abuse.
I have something for you. I hate to interrupt you.
What, a bottle of
but
beer or what? I
we-
said alcohol,
the alcohol
abuse.
Go, go figure. I stopped there.
Man,
Well,
I'll tell
Bottle
you,
of beer.
if a bottle of beer would do it,
we have a visitor here,
Okay.
and the reason why he's here is because we have a surprise for you. And I'm so excited. I can't even wait. I've been dying. It's so hard to keep this a secret.
What's
So-
going on?
So
I'm gonna show this to you first because we want you to know we decided, especially after listening to you here,
Oh my God.
we're gonna give you the full month of money earned. So guys, if you can see this is an additional $9,000
Oh my God.
that we are going to give to the River Fund. I feel like I came in right at the right time
You did.
because I heard
Jesus.
I heard about all that you do,
Man, that's awesome.
and I feel like, man, you could do a lot with this.
Oh my.
And,
We wanna help
I
you
have no
change
idea.
lives.
Oh my God.
So we're going to get you a smaller, cashable version of this check.
Okay.
But this is after we talked and you guys came up last time, and all that you guys do. And I'm especially proud of this amount of money because it comes from our guys.
yeah.
Yeah,
Our
it
guys
does.
give up a portion of their car deal
Commissions, yeah.
to go back. So this is going with you. We hope that it makes a big difference for everybody involved, and especially we know it's
This
tough
is
out there
my
right
favorite
now.
part of my job.
Yeah, I'm really impressed Christy's not crying right now. That's what I'm so happy about.
I do have some tissues ready.
It's coming. So, we came up with a little challenge for you guys, really, to buy cars in the month of October. And with every car sold, the $100 goes back.
Sure.
And so that is where this has come from. It's really been a big community project. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for all that you do.
My gosh.
And I mean, this is what we get to do. This
We actually looked and looked, and we couldn't find a better place than giving it back to you guys. We know we could have handed it to American Cancer Society, and they would have done great things with it. But we really wanted to help and impact our local backyard. We wanted to
Yes.
take care of the people who take care of us.
And that's
So,
kind of our motto. It's locals helping locals.
Yeah.
It's our motto.
Yes.
Yes.
well, I don't know if you
$200
Yeah,
that,
it's amazing.
yes.
That is so cool, and,
Yep.
and so many people were involved in this on your end. The sales folks, the marketing, everybody, management. I don't know what to say. You got me.
Yay, we wanted to. I'm like, oh, wait.
got-
Aside, I'll let you guys
Okay.
continue your talk, but we just want to tell you we appreciate you.
Where's he hiding? Is he behind me? There he is.
I'm
Okay.
trying to hide here.
Yes, it doesn't go unnoticed. And sometimes, sometimes a lot of things are kept secret and kept under wraps, and it doesn't go unnoticed.
Well, and
what you guys are able to do.
we don't spend money on marketing or advertising.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to get the word out. But we figure out other ways to do that because I don't like to pay rent, and of course nobody does. But in this
Right.
respect, I don't want to pay rent when I could be using that money to help somebody with a
Yeah.
cancer situation or even a couple of tires that are blown on a car and now they can't get to work and they need the car to go to work. So
Yeah.
we can help. Money helps. Our unrestricted funds do that. So every penny counts. So I can't tell you how much that's just crazy. Yeah.
We're so excited.
Big
I was like,
surprise.
I can't wait for Mike to come. We're not going to tell anybody. Like, this is the best day ever.
And then he disappears on me. Too.
I know.
He's
You know how
out
he
there
is.
he's out there in the dark
Yes.
somewhere. Thanks again.
Oddly enough, I like kind of hanging out in the dark and helping from the side. So
He's behind the scenes guy.
it's the best thing ever because I got Christy now who loves to be in front and center. and
Really, I can never tell.
Yeah, I know it. So I get to hang off to the side, just where I like to be. So
I love my team. I'm so thankful for my team. And I know that you are thankful for your team. And
Oh.
man, it's kind of those little things that you often don't think about. Big things often get looked, but the small things get overlooked. But when it comes to River Fund, that's not the case. The case is that all shapes and sizes.
I can't not do this. I have to talk a little bit about veterans.
Yes,
I
please.
mean, speaking of things that are important, in the community, we have a guy named Garth. That's his last name, Ryan Granith. I think it's pronounced. I never get it right, but Ryan. He's a member of the Bullhead Fire Department.
Okay.
He's a captain, and he and his buddies are part of the motorcycle gang.
Men of Fire,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, Men of Fire. And each year they were always doing things in the community, but they wanted to do something to help raise funds to help the veterans.
Okay.
So they started this poker run years ago,
Oh, yes.
and then they decided that we wanted. They called me and said, "Let's go to coffee." We met at Perkins, and 2 or 3 of American Legion was involved too, and then we set up this thing for a poker run to help our veterans. And then they did the run, and of course you mentioned veterans, and it's people just
People
come out
show
of
up.
woodwork,
Yes.
and so they did this thing to help veterans, and a big run. Everybody came, and they gave us a check for $7,000,
Oh,
and it was made. This is the very first year, it was hardly
okay. Look at that.
about 4 years ago. There was 4 house fires in Bullhead City in the month of July. And 2 of the fires were veterans, and they were Korea era veterans. These were single wide mobile homes, and they burned to the ground. Their income was about $700 a month. That's what they ended up with after they
Paying their
retired
stuff.
because of just because that's what Social Security was at the time, and that's what you get stuck with. And so we got involved with that immediately, that situation. We got in housing and all of the necessities that he and his wife needed. But the big thing is that we found his brother in Arkansas.
Oh.
And it took a while to do that. And he had a farmhouse on this big farm this guy had. And he had his home, but he had another home that was sitting there not being occupied.
used.
So you know the rest of the story. We got them on a Greyhound bus, he and his wife back there, and then we had all of this what belongings they did have. We had shipped later, and that was all done by
The fund.
money that they gave us, for the Veterans Assistance Fund, and that's still what we do every day now with the veterans. See, just
Yeah.
like the cancer patients,
Yeah.
same with the veterans. So I just wanted to mention that because that's how we work.
So important.
And we have I think it's 18 different funds for odds and ends. You know,
I had no idea.
including memory care, Alzheimer's, and all those kinds of things. Bria Chiodina, the river rats up in Bullhead City.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they have the boats on the river and the
Yep.
London boat tours and all that. She's on my board as well.
Oh, she's amazing.
Those kind of
too.
people. And so, her mother had passed away from Alzheimer's issues, and so she started doing a fundraiser on the river using their boats and stuff, and this, that, and the other. It's pretty
That's
crazy. And
amazing.
of course, it come to a screeching halt when the COVID
Corona.
hit. So she's going to be getting back on that here pretty soon.
Well, and that's kind of one of those diseases that just kind of gets overlooked
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
The family deals with a lot. The person deals with a lot. So much happens in between that, and again, can get very costly.
Or they have no family and no other help too. So that's another fund that
You know
we've
what?
got.
You forget about how many people are homebound without families.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a lady that during COVID, for a lot of different reasons, she lost her income altogether, and she got really far back in rent. And we're now helping her with funds that the city gave us for a grant to help potential homeless people avoid homelessness.
Yeah.
So we got that fund going too.
Wow.
It just goes on and on and on.
Yeah, it's almost. I can imagine that it's kind of one of those things that you start here and you realize
And
there's
that's
a
what-
need, and you realize there's a need,
That's what.
and your board together just is like, okay, how do we fix?
Well, because if somebody comes in the door,
I got goosebumps.
okay. Somebody comes in the door with an issue, and wait a minute, we've never done that before, and so the staff will call me and say, okay, we're not going to send them back out the door because we've never done it before. We're going to
Yeah.
figure out a way to do it. It's got to be that way.
It's got to be that way.
Sometimes there are situations where we can't help. There's not very many situations, but there's a few once in a while. But we try to get them to other resources here in the community because I'm told that there's about 70 different nonprofit agencies throughout this region that
Wow.
do one thing or something or another.
Yeah.
It may be a quiet, small little thing that they do, to come maybe fix your house. If you're a veteran, they'll come on and they'll fix a shingle or two.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of nonprofits that we reach out. So it's a
Work
network.
with.
It's a network that
It's
we
the community, right?
Yeah,
Takes you right
exactly.
back into this big community
Yeah.
that somehow finds a way to show up for each other.
Yeah. So the city's been very good to us. That there was a $50,000 grant, and then there was a $100,000 grant, and that is exclusively to help people. It started out just COVID, just COVID, and so, but there's people that are on the street that need help, including teenagers that are living along the river, and they're homeless. So there's a lot out there that a lot of people don't hear about.
Yeah, we kind of
That's really
close
going
our
on.
eyes to it a little bit because it's not so present as in some areas. But you're right. The truth of the matter is, we have a lot of homeless people living.
Yeah. Now and once in a while you still see people on the side streets with cardboard signs and stuff, and they're wearing jackets or not wearing jackets and stuff. So in fact, I stopped this morning early with a guy that was in the Riverview Mall and directed him over to the River Fund office on Hancock. We just got to take care of her. Nobody who's going to do it if we don't help our own, right?
No,
And-
who's
and
gonna
some
do
of
it?
these people aren't from this area.
Right.
We say we're locals helping locals. Well, right now you're local because you're in our town and you have no place to live.
Right?
So
Doesn't mean you were born and raised
it's
here.
just a
no.
humanitarian way of taking care of people.
Man, I don't know if you've heard me say this, but I love this community.
Yeah. They're really giving. It's like the Boys and Girls Club, and anytime they do a project, they do a fundraiser. people come out of the
People
woodwork to
show
help
up.
them, for their auctions and margarita contests. And
Well,
all
you
those
can't go
different
wrong with margaritas,
Yeah.
you know.
It's all for a good
somehow
cause,
that
right?
somehow this town loves a few beverages.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that is amazing. If someone needed to get in touch with you, if someone wanted to donate, what's the easiest way to kind of
Well,
get into those avenues?
the easiest way. First of all, I'd like everybody to take a look at our website, and it's simply just if you just Google River Fund, you're gonna
Everything
you'll
pops
get
up.
it. It's a simple website. It's riverfundinc.com.
Okay.
It's just short for Incorporated. But we have two offices. The corporate office is in Laughlin, and we have another office on Hancock Road, 1343 Hancock Road. And in that building, we invited the veterans assistance groups to come in and share our building with us. So right across the hall from us is, if you're a veteran, you can get veterans help, and you can come across the other side of the hall. And then we work with them. We do this short-term housing for a veteran while they're working on the long-term.
Yeah, I mean, the more I kind of get into the veteran stuff, you find that it's really challenging for them.
Oh, it
What you
is.
kind of
It
think,
is.
you know, that just comes to them, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of work and a lot of paperwork.
Yeah. I know we only got probably a few minutes, but I want to reach out to the business community too. As I mentioned, I think I mentioned the Employee Donor Crisis Fund. I don't know at what point I did that, but when people donate to River Fund through payroll deductions from our partners that do that, that money is broken up into 3 different pieces. For every dollar that is raised, 50 cents goes into what we call a program grant fund.
Okay.
And then 25% goes into our administrative fund, and that keeps the doors open, pays the liability insurance, the payroll, the office supplies, and things like that.
Yeah.
And then the other side is for the Employee Donor Crisis Fund. You're paying into it, donating into River Fund, and you say, I want it to go just unrestricted, use it for whatever you want it for. Well, you become what I call an investor or a stockholder, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an issue, we're going to take care of you because you're invested.
You're
you can
vested
get
into it.
Okay. So I want to give you one example of that.
Okay.
And we had a family that was working at a casino. They had a 6-month-old baby on life support in Sunrise Hospital. They were driving back and forth every day to see their baby, and they ran out of money. Literally run out of money.
You can't work when you're
They lost
doing that.
they lost their apartment, their house, their car. What was it? 6 months worth of rent into their apartment,
Oh,
and 6 months of we got the car out of jail, and,
they can't get back for the
and
hospital.
then
if they don't have a
paid
car.
6 months of car payments for it on that.
Oh man.
And over time, the baby got better and came home
Oh.
out of life.
And they
yeah.
had a moment to breathe and
Yes.
deal with their baby and not
yes.
life.
We put him in a McDonald House in Henderson. That's how we housed them, so they could
Very
be right there.
with
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how that fund works.
Okay.
Back to the program grant fund.
Yeah.
That's what we use to help nonprofits in the region that need money. Food banks that need a condenser replaced on a walk-in freezer. Another agency that it was Food for Families, I believe it was, that needed a couple of tires on their big service truck that they help service other smaller food banks in the region.
Gotcha.
2 of the tires went bad, and these are tires that are taller than you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's lots of money, so we give them a grant for the tires, and then we help the Boys and Girls Club sometimes with their lunch things in the summertime and those kind.
Yeah.
And so, as long as they're a local 501c3 and they're in our service area, they're eligible to
get
apply
help.
to us to grants. And right now we just did 22,500, I think, to the Colorado River Food Bank, the Mojave Valley Food Pantry, Food for Families, and what's the fourth one? Oh, out in Topak, the nutrition center out in Topak.
Talk about changing lives.
And that's Christmas and Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving funds
for food.
for families.
For families to have the turkey and all the fixings, and some of it they can go in and sit down and have the dinner, or they can box it up and take it home, cook it themselves. That's the Christmas time money that we do from that 50 cents.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why we want people to donate to us so that we can help other people, because every time you donate $1, you're helping people all year long.
All year long.
See, that's another quiet thing we do that nobody.
Yeah.
So I want to reach out to businesses that aren't participating, that give me a call. Let me come talk to you. So, because it doesn't cost the business anything.
Yeah. The employees are able to give back.
It just costs your accountant or your bookkeeper to have
Just
to
a
write
little
the
more
check.
time.
Yeah. So those things. So
Wow.
that we want, and then the last thing I'm gonna shut up.
Oh, you're
there.
fine. Well, I know that you wanted to talk about the money that was given to you from the Aquarius. We have that picture. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure.
Jeff, the Aquarius picture.
Well, I'll start talking about it anyway.
Yep.
We have this fund that is called the unrestricted fund. This is for a lot of times we use it for rent. We use it for that guy that has the 2 tires that are blown on his car.
Yeah.
That woman that ran out the back door with a baseball bat, and she needs birth certificates and an extended stay. So we're set up to online get birth certificates, and we have somebody in each office that is a notary.
Oh wow.
So when these clients are in the office, we can order up their
Did you
birth certificate. We have a lot of things that we can do that are unrestricted, and other things that we do with the grants.
This one, right?
Nope. The check. The Aquarius.
Oh,
That's where you were able to help with a wheelchair.
Well, that was a time when the school district had
This
a
one?
child.
The Aquarius check.
I don't have that photo.
Okay.
Well, anyway, it was a great day, and what the
So the Aquarius is very
well
big in supporting you guys.
actually it's Golden Entertainment, and it consists of the Aquarius and the Edgewater
Okay.
folks.
Yep.
And it's their employees. And over a period of about 4 or 5 months, they presented us 3 checks, each one for $7,500
That's
to
what I
go
wanted
towards
talk
our
about.
unrestricted fund to help people with all of these odds and ends, if you will.
Yeah.
But they were crisis and hardship situations in their minds to help them get over the hump.
Yeah. Which is amazing.
Yeah, so you got that going on
Yes.
too. So I guess it's time for me to be quiet.
No, you're okay.
You're
okay. I know. Well, I said to him, give me a few things you want to talk about. And he says, Christy, I could talk about this for 4 hours.
Well, yeah.
It's near and dear to your heart.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of funds that I was very unaware of.
Yeah.
Part 2. We'll have to have a part 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about ducks for a minute.
Okay.
Just for a second.
Yes.
We're always out there trying to raise money, for these kinds of situations, because my job is to bring in money faster than my staff can spend it. You see.
Yeah. That's a good
That's
plan.
it, right? See.
You're out there hustling. They're
Yeah,
they're figuring out where it needs to go.
And so we're going to do a duck race in April.
Oh my goodness.
I know this sounds like a early to be talking about an April event, but
No,
it really
it comes
isn't.
so fast.
Yeah, because we've already been in touch with, had a discussion with the Coast Guard, and we've already got it approved.
Oh goodness.
I can't remember the date exactly. I think it's the 15th of April.
Okay.
It's going to be a Saturday, and it's going to start at the dam, of course, and go down to what they call Goat Island across from the Riverside Casino.
Okay.
There's an little island on the Arizona side, and these
yeah.
goats live on that island.
They do.
Yeah.
I'm always like, what are these goats doing there?
Yeah, I know. So now Laughlin, they take care of it. They take care of their goats on there, make sure they're okay, and feed them and all that.
Oh,
kind
my
of stuff.
goodness.
It's kind of like a Oatman 2.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's brewing now. So there'll be more coming as it gets
As
closer.
it gets- Okay.
and there's going to be 5,000 ducks dropped at the dam.
Oh my goodness.
And we're trying to get the fire departments in Clark County and Bullhead City to give us. I called them and I said, I want to borrow a couple of fire trucks.
Can I have some trucks for the ducks?
Yeah. Good. And so we'll drop them there, and then we're going to recruit some volunteers to be duck pluckers.
Oh no.
With have to be careful with this.
Yeah.
And so the Coast Guard said we're going to get and serious. We're going to get fined if there's any ducks down in Fort Mojave.
Oh, so we got to stop them.
We cannot be dropping ducks that aren't live ducks. So we have to pluck every
Pluck
duck.
the ducks.
There you go.
We could
Pluck
get in
the
trouble
duck.
with that one. You got the beep ready, Jeff?
We're gonna hashtag pluck the ducks. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so that's going to be fun. So you get to, I'm assuming, you get to pick a duck, and if the
Well, no.
A number.
What you do is, see, he knows he's an old duck plucker from way
Yeah,
back.
I'm a duck plucker.
he's a duck guy.
I'm hip.
No, all the ducks are numbered,
Okay.
and they're about to be placed in somebody's swimming pool. We don't know who yet, but we need a swimming pool so that we can put all the ducks in, so we can clean them.
Oh goodness
We got to
gracious.
clean. They've been stored since 2017.
Oh yeah, they need to be washed
They need to be washed.
and numbered.
And probably some of them need to be replaced because of rubber, the rubber got in the heat and so
Yeah.
forth. But anyway, and then we'll have them all ready, and you buy a ticket, and the ticket's got a number on it. So,
Gotcha.
so
So it's a little bit for the gambling.
yeah. So and then there's going to be some judges at the other end, and they're going to be, like at Santa Anita. Okay, number 3 won. As they go by.
It's pretty cool.
Listen, this
And there-
sounds like a genius event.
Yeah, and it's going to be there'll be like 5 levels of prizes and stuff, and then
Oh,
afterwards
fun.
it's going to be a fun time in the park and all of that kind of stuff. So, but it's early on yet. Lots of planning to do. And
So watch out for that.
Keep your eyes out.
I'm sure we'll get all that information through the Laughlin Chamber,
Oh, yeah.
through all the, Facebook. It tells you everything
yeah.
that's going on.
Well, and Bullhead, we're partners with both chambers, so we
Yes.
get it out
Perfect.
to everybody. So that's coming up.
Well, let me tell you what. This will not be the last time I will have you on this show.
Good. I'm glad.
So I appreciate you for being here. I am sorry that I sent out everyone in town
don't
looking
be.
for you.
It's-
Note to self.
I earned the right to be chastised on this one. So.
And I appreciate all you do, and thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your cancer fund. And I guess I'm at a loss of words because I
me
just
too.
didn't even
This is
know.
crazy. This is nuts. You guys are amazing. I tell you what, you guys are doing so much in the community.
We like to show up.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah, giving back and all of that kind of stuff. But for all your sales team doing what they did to help make this happen too, and of course the management team as well. It's a family,
It is.
and
It is.
look what you're producing.
Look what we do.
Yeah.
A high five on end our note. Thank you for being here. We appreciate all you do.
Yeah, thank you, Mike, for being on the show.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, your hand's so warm. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Please like, please share.